we have talked. Like I had that personal, like I had that thing that I wanted to please people, and I have been working on it. Um, and it's been something that is still in the process of just being with it. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
uh, but yeah, I had that thing that I wanted to please people, and that came from my mom because I always wanted to please my mom, and my mom being a single mom, and I always feel bad that she was single and taking care of her. So everything that I did was wanted to please her, wanted to make her feel better, and everything I did in life was just trying to make her happy for all those sacrifices that she did, especially by herself, with no one. Um, so then I saw myself doing that to other people too, and especially women, and then that pleasing and everything I was trying to do, even with spirituality, and I had the calling, and I feel like I want to help people, but then I felt like I was coming with a calling from that angle, like, oh, I just want to please
Mm.
people instead of actually just helping them. And recently, uh, I feel like the way I was trying to do it was kind of like enabling people because you're just pleasing them. So then I was like, you know what? It's not my job to do that. Like, why am I trying to fix people? Like, it's not my job to fix people. Everybody have
Because
their
you
own
want to
make.
fix yourself.
Yes, and that's another thing too. But everybody have the mechanism inside of them. All they need is something to relate to and find guidance to. So then I was like, all they need to do is find it within themselves. So maybe all I gotta do really is share my story, have them relate to my story, and then they'll start from there. They'll go from there and see what they could relate to, what pointers they could take, and if they resonate with anything, then that could start the process for their healing process, and then they could go from there within, and then they can find their own truth, and then they could heal themselves because they have the capability. They just need that guidance to whatever it is that they're feeling. They need to feel like we were talking about earlier, that it's okay to have these feelings, and that other people have experienced something similar in life, and that it's not wrong, um, what you feel, and that you're not abnormal. Like you're not
It's
like
it's really
abnormal
good
for
that
that.
that you're saying that because it was making me think of how like the new age spirituality thing. It's like we're trying to not we well yeah I've done it too, push this healing on everyone. Well, you need to do this because you do this, and like we're wanting to help everybody because we're trying to push our agendas. And I think a lot of times it's subconscious instead of like you're saying, I'm just going to speak this and this and this. And then if they resonate with it, that's great. Then it can help them
Yeah.
instead of trying to push it. Cause I remember Kyle said something like when I first joined, or maybe it was yeah, it was when I first joined. And he was saying something about how somebody didn't want to be a part of it, or I don't know. There was just some story. I'm like, this thing's falling out. And I don't remember what the story was, but it was something about showing up to maybe one of his events or I don't know. But he said like, good, if they don't want to be here, I don't want them to be here. And that sounds
Hmm.
really bad. But the way he meant it is he's not trying to do anything. He's not forcing his
Yes.
opinion. He's not telling you do this, do that. He's just saying, I'm going to offer this to you and I'm going to say this. And if you want to be here, then that's great. If you don't, that's great. And I
Yeah.
think that's the approach that like far more of us need to be
Yeah.
using, myself
Yeah,
included.
exactly. And no, yeah, definitely stuff. And I wasn't like that. I realized that literally this past week, that's when I came to that realization. My whole entire life until this past week.
It's probably because I was a real big asshole to you.
But that's good. But you see, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it triggers a lot of stuff inside of me. But I needed that.
Yeah,
I needed those triggers to come to light.
you're
So
welcome.
then it didn't feel good at the moment, but I needed them. I needed to process those things. Like I said, at whatever, that's why I said whatever happens is best, because even with that, I wouldn't have never come to that realization if it wasn't for what we went through this past week, what we went through. Because it's like I probably would have been still in that mentality of, oh, I need to come out in a way that is pleasing to them, you know,
It
instead
makes
of
me wonder though, do you think it could be possible that not every, like, I don't know, I just randomly had this thought, sorry, that things that we go through, like say this last week of me being in a bad mood, maybe it wasn't even anything for my personal growth. Maybe it had nothing to do with my personal story. Maybe things happen to us for other people. So like you're gonna be in this shitty situation or this shitty mood or whatever, and it has nothing to do with your personal growth, but it's gonna. I'm using you as a catalyst for this person or this person or this figure. I don't know. It's possible. It's
yeah,
totally
because
possible.
that helped me out with two things. What happened with you triggered some stuff in me, which was staying there, and I kept fighting it, which allowed me to express myself to my family when they called me and they started accusing me of some shit. Remember I told you about?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I talked to my brother, and I went all off on him. It's like all the emotions that I had because I was being triggered by having our conversation. Like everything came out because I felt like I was being attacked by my family, but everything came out on them. But it's in that way, it was good because my brother found out I let go of some stuff, and my brother found out some stuff that they didn't know about me. And I was finally able to express it. Things that I had my whole freaking 37 years of my life. And the stuff that I was holding against them. And stuff that they were holding against me, and how wrong I had it from the perspective that I was seeing life with them growing up, how wrong I was. And I would never have realized that all the freaking emotions that I had when it related to that was pretty much for nothing because I made it up all in my head. I created these traumas over something that, I mean, it was kind of real, but at the same time, I created worse than it should have been. And I made it a trauma instead of just a feeling at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that how my brother felt about certain things too. And it was crazy because now I was able to work with my family and heal that part of us. And then I came also to the realization that I just talked to you about pleasing others because that was brought up during that conversation too. Me trying to please my mom and my brothers and everybody. And then I was like, everybody, I'm trying to freaking fucking please everybody. I'm done telling. I'm done telling um them like what they want to hear. Like I'm done freaking telling people what they want to hear just so I could look smaller. Nah. So you know, so that's when I had those two realizations, and it was just because of the way you were feeling, believe
Because
it
I
or
was
not.
a raging bitch.
And then I realized, but sometimes you need that though. Like I realized that like all of us are connected, and when it's like a network. You see what I mean? Like sometimes like my computer and your cell phone right now are connected through the network. But they right now they're not connected to all the other computers, right? But
Mhm.
we can if we want to. We could invite them in. But right now we only connected directly, right? Me and you through these computers. So I think the universe and the energy work the same way. My energy right now, me and you are connected to the energy directly, but we also connected to all the other ones. But we right now concentrating on this connection because this is the one
Yeah.
that right now we're being aware of. But the awareness is basically what connects you to that, like the computer connects you to this computer, but you also have access to all the other ones. You just gotta invite them too. But
Man, that's good.
yeah, but
That's
right
good.
now, but right now, it's just me and you energetically connecting. So when you were going through all of that, I was going through that. It's like we went through some life lessons, completely different. But it's like your lesson that you were learning, or whatever it was that you were experiencing, helped me in my experience. It was like the universe was like, okay, she's gonna go through this. He needs to learn this. Haha. Let me
Sprinkle that bitch
perfect.
juice on her.
This is perfect. So the universe is like perfect combination. It's like making a meal. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. This is a perfect combination right here. This is gonna work out perfectly. Let's just see how this plays out. I could just picture the angels having popcorn up there, like watching on a big spiritual screen. Yeah, let's see
Yeah.
how this is
I
gonna
was
work.
fully expecting us to never speak again. Like,
Yeah,
really, I
probably.
really was. And I know what I'm doing when I start doing it once it gets that heavy. I can see I think we talked about this on the last one, or maybe it was when we weren't recording, how my ex last year, who was like my best friend ever, is probably like, I know I said Brian was my favorite ex, but Jordan is like the best friend that I've ever had in my entire life. And I was sitting here last summer, yeah, feeling like all those deep, deep wounds. And now I forgot what my point was. I forgot what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Shit, what were we just talking? I hate when I do that. I hate when I do that.
Well,
Oh, Gemini, you're at it again. Oh,
no, you were saying
I forgot.
that we almost never spoke again. And
Because thank you, thank you. Um, because I started feeling myself like I was letting it all out, letting him hear and feel everything that I was feeling at the time, which I told you was triggering him, and he could not take it. Like he didn't want to hear it because he couldn't take it. And so I'm screaming at him like, just get the hell out! I hate you. I kept saying I hate you because I know that triggers him really bad. So I said it on purpose. But the whole time inside, I'm like, please stay, please stay, please stay, please fight to stay, please don't abandon me, please fight to not abandon me while I'm saying, I hate you, I hate you. It's like, please don't, I don't hate you. And I can
mm,
feel that, like, I can sit back and watch those two parts of me doing it every time. So even like after I started being like real bitchy to you, I know part of me was trying to push even further, like, let's make him abandon you because that's what everyone does. And another part is like, oh, please just see through what I'm doing. Please, come on, do this or say this so that I know that you know what I'm saying. Like it's a weird. It's kind of like
I know.
my talk that we didn't put in the recording about how I can think someone thinks I'm hot and I'm ugly at the same time. It's that same weird dynamic. It's weird.
Yeah. No, and I completely understood because it wasn't the same thing, but I was also thinking about abandonment uh at that point. But it was in a different way. I mean, it was like, okay, if I want to grow on this and I really care, like I say, like I do care about her, like I really say I care about her. Am I gonna keep making a habit of running away when somebody calls me out on my bullshit? No, that's like what I say. Am I gonna make that a habit? Like, what if I get to the point that I want to be, and then I'm in an interview, or I'm being like Kyle, I'm in a one-on-one or in a live, and somebody calls me out on the bullshit, and I'm just gonna stop it and walk away? No, I have to be
Yeah.
able to deal with it. I have to be able to face it. I have to be able to, you know, like work on the stuff that I need to work on too. How am I gonna know what it is that I need to work on also if nobody calls me out, right? So then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna abandon anybody. I've been abandoned. I already know what that feels like. And when I say I'm not gonna abandon somebody, I'm not gonna do that. So are you gonna? So me, I was thinking, are you gonna keep your word, or are you just gonna run away like you always have with everything else? And then at this point, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna face it, and I'm gonna be what my true self wants me to be, which is the real me, which is the
Yeah.
person that really cares, which is the one that really cares and really have love for this other person. And I'm gonna be that person. And then I was like, you know what? That's what I told you. I even told you in the message. Doesn't matter if you hate me. Doesn't matter if you love me. Doesn't matter if you freaking want to kill me.
I kind
I'm
of
a- I'm gonna be here. I told you that. I'm gonna be here. I ain't going nowhere. You could text me whenever you feel like you want to text me. If you never want to text me again, that's fine. But I'm not gonna be the one. And I'm still gonna text you a couple times. Hey, how you doing? Even if you don't respond, maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't want to be a psycho either. But like couple times because I'm not gonna abandon nobody. I'm gonna hold on to my truth, and that's my truth.